Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, what's up everybody? This is my son Kelly. He's going to be helping me today as we run through some tips for people that are in real estate. So if you're a homeowner, if you're a buyer or a seller, or if you're an investor, we have a few tips for you as we try to navigate things during this pandemic. So if you're ready, we are. So let's go. Welcome back everybody. So we're going to go through a number of different tips based on where you are in real estate. So we're going to start with current homeowners. So if you have a mortgage, we have a few tips for you depending upon where you are. Hopefully you're in a safe place, but Kelly's going to keep us on track by giving us each one of the topics that we're going to cover today. So Kelly, what's the first one?
Mortgage relief.
Yep, mortgage relief. So the first thing I'd recommend you do is go out to consumerfinance.gov. So the government was very thoughtful in the construction of the CARES Act by ensuring that no one would lose their home during this pandemic. So I would encourage you to go out to consumerfinance.gov and take a look, especially if you have a federally backed loan. That means an FHA loan or a Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, all that. So if you have a federally backed loan, you need to go out there and see what your options are. There are a lot of mortgage relief options, forbearance options that you can investigate. So I definitely recommend that you go out to consumerfinance.gov and check out what your options will be, especially if you've had a change in your income due to the pandemic. So Kelly, what's our next option?
Refinance.
Refinancing is a great opportunity right now if you can get in touch with a mortgage broker or a bank. They're overwhelmed right now with applications for refinances, but the rates are low and now's a great time. So if you can connect with a mortgage broker or someone at your bank that you deal with currently, try to get a refinance going because this could be a great time for you to lower your payments. Keep in mind that the 30-year fix is probably going to be your best option just because of the way the rates are and where things are going with an ARM. So just talk to your mortgage broker, try to get the best information possible and get yourself into a refinance if your rate is higher than what the going rates are right now. So Kelly, what's our next topic?
No foreclosures.
So under the CARES Act, they've also suspended foreclosures and short sales. So now is a great time to reach out to your current loan servicer or your lender and find out what the options are in terms of ensuring that if you have a foreclosure that's happening, that you get out of it, or at least there's a moratorium on it so that you can try and find ways to get yourself, one, out of that situation, but two, prevent losing your home during the pandemic and this shelter in place if you're doing that. So just make sure that you also look for those options under the consumerfinance.gov website, and also definitely talk to your lender or loan servicer. All right, Kelly, so what's the next topic?
Stay in contact with your lender.
I think that's going to be the most important thing that you can do throughout all of this. Stay in contact with your lender every month, no matter if your situation changes financially or not. You just don't know what kind of options will come down the pike that you can take advantage of during this difficult time. Because we don't know where we're going or where this thing is headed. So you want to be in the best shape possible. So definitely talk to your lender or your loan servicer and make sure that you're upfront about getting the most up-to-date options that you have, as well as making sure that they're aware of where you are financially and your ability to make your payments. So what's our next topic, Kelly?
Be aware of scams.
That's right. So the first thing you want to make sure that you're doing is you're the one that's starting any conversation that you're having. If someone reaches out to you and says, hey, we've got a great deal for you and we want to make sure that you get the opportunity to refinance your home or we can help you sell, make sure you're aware of who you're talking to. Your first point of contact should be to your loan servicer or your lender. That's where conversations should start. So just be aware of anyone reaching out to you and telling you that they have some deal or opportunity for you, because you just don't know who that's going to be and what they have waiting for you at the end of that transaction. So now we'll move on to property sellers. Right now is a very uncertain time for you and your group, and I'm also about to jump into that group as I'm selling my flip. This is a very uncertain time for property sellers just because we don't know what the real estate market's going to do. The secondary market's drying up for purchases of mortgage-backed securities. So the first thing we want to talk about is, Kelly?
Days on market.
Right, days on market. The most important thing here is that you have the right strategy for where we are today. You don't want to risk any extra days on market due to a strategy that was created prior to the pandemic. So the first thing you need to do is talk to your real estate broker or agent and ensure that your strategy is still sound based on where you are in this pandemic. One thing you're probably going to be talking about with your real estate agent or broker is going to be your price. Is your property priced well enough to sell right now? You may have to worry about lowering the price on your property, but that's something that's going to be based on where your current market is, if people are still looking to buy. If not, you may even want to think about taking your property off the market. This is a very uncertain time, so you just want to make sure that you're making the right decision based on where we are right now. So what's our next topic, Kelly?
Do you have to sell?
That's right. Do you have to sell? With times being so challenging and there's uncertainty in the secondary mortgage market, some lenders may not actually want to lend to a prospective buyer. So do you actually want to sell right now? So do you actually want to put yourself in the market and then have to deal with what I just talked about, which is unnecessary days on market? So if you have the flexibility to be able to keep your property off the market during this time, you may want to exercise that. But definitely talk to your real estate agent or broker. Make sure that they're giving you the best and most up-to-date information on what the market's doing in your area. You don't want to go out there and then have to have drastic price reductions just because you're on at a time when there are no buyers and your property is not going to move. So now we're actually moving on to the next group of folks, which is going to be property buyers. So we are going to talk about things that you should do as you're looking at buying a property during this time when COVID-19 is wreaking havoc on the economy and our lives. So Kelly, what's our first topic?
Be careful.
That's right, Kelly. You want to be careful. You want to be careful in a number of different ways. The first one is going to be regarding visiting properties. At this time or this point in where we are in the real estate cycle, considering the economic impact and COVID-19 in general, I think you want to be careful about properties that you're viewing. So definitely make sure that your real estate agent or broker is ensuring that you're going to be in a very safe situation. So make sure that if you are viewing a property that it's currently being occupied, that some safety precautions are being met to ensure that when you enter the property that you don't run the risk of contracting COVID-19. The other thing that you should be very careful about is overbuying a property at this point in the market. There are a number of markets where I'm sure that the prices have already begun to drop. So be sure that you're getting the best price that you can right now. I'm not saying that you should go in and lowball or underbid, but the fact of the matter is that with so little property on the market due to the fact that there are so few buyers out there looking because of the issues that we have with COVID-19, don't go out there and overspend during a time like this. You want to make sure that you're putting yourself in a great property, but at the right price for you based on where we are. So what's our next topic, Kelly?
Lock in a low rate.
That's right. You want to be talking to someone right now, if you haven't already done so, to lock in a low mortgage rate. If you're out there looking for property right now, you could probably find a deal, and then you can make your deal even better if you lock in one of these low mortgage rates right now. So definitely be in touch with your lender or with a mortgage broker to find out what the options are. Now, keep in mind that the low down payment options may not be there, but if you're well qualified and you have the cash to do it right now, go and lock in a low rate at probably 10 to 20% down so that you can make sure you get a great deal during these challenging times. Most investors will tell you, and I definitely will tell you, that the great opportunity to buy is when things are at their worst. I know this may not sound like the best advice for a property seller, but as a buyer, you definitely want to buy when things are low. That's when the best opportunities happen, the best chance for return happens is by buying when things are at their lowest. So go out there with a low rate and get a low price on your next home. So our last group is going to be investors. This is a group that's near and dear to my heart because this is what I do every day and all I think about. So Kelly, tell us what the first tip is for investors.
Finish up your project.
That's right. Finish up your projects. Don't let them sit and wait. If you are ready to go when the shelter in place is lifted, if you're under that, or when buyers are actively back on the market, you want to be the first one out there that has something available for somebody to buy. So don't wait, don't take a break, don't do anything that will keep you from having the progress you need to be able to get your property ready to sell. And then once you have it ready, make sure you're securing it. So if you have to get a security system, if security people are willing to come out to your property and secure your property, then do that. You can also buy some self-install options like Ring or Simply Safe, so that way you can protect your investment from anything that could negatively impact the sellability of your product. So Kelly, what's the next one?
Go after long-term projects.
That's a good one. Go after long-term projects. Right now, we are in a very volatile real estate market, very volatile world market. So if you can get into a long-term project, that's probably the best bet. That gives you the time to be able to comfortably renovate your project, get it ready for either sale or rent, and then not have to worry about any of the volatility that would cause your pricing to fluctuate either on the rental income side or on the sale side. So definitely get into a long-term deal, but make sure that you have the funds to be able to float the deal as well as renovate. You don't want to get into something that you end up losing just because you didn't have enough money to be able to actually get to the finish line. So evaluate your real estate investment strategy. See if you can get a long-term project that keeps you going, keeps you busy, but also keeps you from experiencing anything negative during this volatile time period. So what's the last tip we have today, Kelly?
Support your tenants.
That's right. So support your tenants. If you're a savvy investor, you're probably looking into options to get some mortgage relief yourself. So if you are, and you are able to get that mortgage relief, you definitely want to support your tenants by passing on some of that relief to them. This is a very difficult time, not one that we've ever seen in our lifetimes. So definitely try to make it easier on your tenants and on yourself, because you won't have to worry about evictions or anything crazy during a time like this and looking like a slumlord. So if you have any opportunity or flexibility to support your tenants, you definitely should do that. You likely find that you'll have happier tenants, and they might even be willing to refer new tenants to you. So definitely take care of your tenants and make sure that any break that you can pass along to them that you get, you do that. All right, that was a lot. Think so, Kelly? All right, cool. So this is just a quick video. I know that I typically try to do property research videos, but right now I feel like these tips are probably more helpful than any type of research that we can do on property in the East Bay market right now. So if you have any questions, leave those in the comments. I'm going to try and put as many links as possible in the comment section to provide as much assistance as possible. So Kelly, I know you're ready to go and have lunch. So say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Bye, and I will talk to you soon. Stay safe and definitely make some good decisions on real estate. Peace out.